What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Sleeping at Last. Yes, indeed. How about that? Sleeping at Last, making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Yellow Icicle, and Yellow Icicle wanted to see me react to this song by Sleeping at Last called Saturn. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait, you have got to be kidding me. This is that song? I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Sleeping at Last. Shocking. And the video has 79 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Sleeping at Last, Saturn, official music video. Wah, wah, wah.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, there's the word official coming off of their official page too. Look, you know what I'm going to say, so I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say is we're going to just wait and see what happens and hope for the best. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Oh, now vocals kick in. More than halfway through the song, vocals finally kick in. I think the title's appropriate. Well, maybe not the title, but I think the name of the band is definitely appropriate. This song will put you to sleep, no problem. It's relaxing. It's a relaxing song. It's pretty, absolutely. The usage of the strings between the cello and the violin, very well done. I think they have a nice contrast with each other. The violin carrying the main melodic line with the cello underneath carrying a counter melodic line. I think it's very well done, very well arranged. They fade out and bring in the piano. Okay, I get it. I absolutely get it. And then finally we start to add a little bit of a percussion, just, kick with light tom work. No snares, no cymbals, just kicking toms. That's it. Okay. It's very light. It's very relaxed. It's very spacious. It kind of leaves you with a little bit of an empty feeling. Feelings of longing, feelings of maybe regret, feelings of being left wanting, I guess is the best way to put. I can see a lot of people enjoying this. I really could. I can see a number of people enjoying this. It's a very well-written and well-constructed song. Having said that, am I enjoying this? Nope, not at all. This is absolutely not my cup of tea. It is not my jam. It is not my bag. It is not blowing my skirt up in any way, shape, or form. I cannot wait for this to be over. It's just not my thing, guys. It really isn't. I'm sorry. It's not. But at the same time, while I may not personally like it, looking at the song objectively, they are doing absolutely nothing wrong. Everything they've done made sense. Everything they've done so far sounds good. Everything they've done so far is pleasing to the ear. So, and like I said, I'm sure there are a lot of people who listen to this and they love it. Hey, more power to them. Absolutely. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. That's their personal tastes. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with liking something like this. I just personally do not. So, anyway, let's finish this out and let's get to the review.
Me the courage of stars before you left. How light carries on endlessly, even after death, with shortness of breath. You explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful it is to even exist. I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find the pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eye. And I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find the pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eyes. With shortness of breath, I'll explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful
ending on that 7. That's nice. I'm glad that, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm glad they didn't resolve to the root. I was waiting for it. Because the pattern's it's the old Z pattern, 1 6 3 7. So they went to the 1 6 3 7, 1 6 3 7, 1 6 3 7, 1 6 3 7, and they stayed there rather than resolving on the root. Kind of, it almost leaves it with, well, I mean, not almost. I mean, it flat out does. It leaves it with that unfinished feeling, like it hasn't been fully resolved yet. And with a song like this, with the demeanor and the feel and the direction of the song, honestly, that's probably the best way you can end it, is with that unresolved feeling, because you don't know what's coming next. You know, you don't know how it ends. It could end in a lot of different ways. It's almost like it's waiting to be continued. You know, it's a good way to end a song like this. At least it open-ended. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. For those of you expecting a low score, like for those of you who are expecting a score, you know, down the negatives, like down in the 3s or 4s or 5s. Well, not 5s. 5s are positive. But for those of you that are hoping for a score like in the 3s or the 4s or the 2s, got some bad news for you. It's not going to happen. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the song. So now on the flip side, for those of you expecting a 9, I've also got some bad news for you. That's just not going to happen. There wasn't really anything all that impressive about the song. So, but we are going to be in the positives. I'm not 100% sure where yet. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Sleeping at Last with a tune called Saturn. This was a request from Yellow Icicle. All right. Let's give the score. Let's give the score first. I'm debating whether I want to talk about how I personally felt about the song versus the score, or should I just give the score first and let's move on. I think that's probably the better way to go. So let's start with the score first, and we'll go from there. On a scale of 1 to 10, believe it or not, I'm going to give that a 6.7. Yep, 6.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 6.7. What does that mean? Well, a 6.7 would translate to a pretty good scale rating, because overall, believe it or not, I think it's a pretty good song. It would also get 3 out of 5 stars and a B letter grade. That's B as in boy. So there you go, a 6.7, pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. I don't make any bones about it, guys. I don't even try to hide it. When I'm not a fan of something, it's usually 9 times out of 10, it's pretty easy to see. And yeah, I'm not a fan. So, not something I would ever listen to of my own volition. Not something I would ever willingly choose to put on and listen to in the car, or, you know, whatever. Guys, no offense. It's not my thing. It's not my bag. It's not my jam. Okay, there are just certain styles of music that just do not gel with me. I mean, and it's funny because I love it when people in the comments say, you need to expand your horizons and you need to expand your musical taste. Guys, my musical tastes are honestly about as expanded as you can possibly get. I love all kinds of music. I do. Okay, I love metal. I love hard rock. I love rock and roll. I love 50s rock and roll. I even love 40s music that were the beginnings of rock and roll. I love jazz music, all kinds of jazz, anywhere from big band to new age. I love all kinds. I like blues. I like playing blues. I like listening to blues. There are classical pieces I really enjoy. The Planets, love it. The Four Seasons, love it. I love all four movements of the seasons. Vivaldi, I love Vivaldi. Wagner, pretty much everything Wagner's ever written, I've really enjoyed. There are just so many classical pieces that I really enjoy listening to and I've actually played. One of my favorite classical pieces, is obviously enough, is a Wagner piece called La Forza del Destino. Love that tune, and I love playing it. Man, that song, you talk about eliciting an emotional response. Every time I have played that song, I will find myself, while playing it, I will find myself tearing up. It is a powerful, powerful piece of music. So I love it when these people say, in the comments, well, you need to expand your musical horizons. I'm willing to bet my musical horizons are probably far more expansive than theirs are, because these are probably the same people that can't stand jazz. And that's one of my favorite styles of music. So, be careful where you throw stones, guys, especially in glass houses, because you might find yourself getting hurt pretty bad. It's not about me not having broad musical horizons. It's just personal tastes. I don't like slow songs. I really don't. I don't like pieces of music like this that are so relaxed, so empty, and so, subtle and quiet. It's not my style, guys. It really isn't. It's just not my bag. But at the same time, if I look at the song objectively, which I do, I look at the song, what it's doing, how it's moving, its structure, its voicings, its arrangement, its composition, and I gotta say, there's nothing wrong with this. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It all makes sense. Chordal progression, it's following that Z pattern, 1, 6, 3, 7. It follows that for the majority of the song. Is there anything wrong with that? No, nothing wrong with that at all. It's a very common riff especially among hit songs. Songs that are big hits, a lot of songs that have sold hundreds of millions of copies have followed that same chordal progression. So, anything wrong with it? No, not at all. It makes sense. The voicings make perfect sense for the type of style of music that they're going for, starting out with the two strings, starting out, like I said, with cello and violin, very complementary to each other. Violin carrying the main melodic line, cello underneath with a counter melodic line, and from there they fade out and they fade in the piano. The piano takes over with some light percussion coming from toms, and then they bring the strings back in and they start to stack. And over the course of the rest of the song, they bring in vocals about a little over halfway, and then from there the song just very, very slowly but steadily grows in volume. It just gets a little bit louder throughout the rest of the song. Before you know it, when the song is over, you're at about a mezzo forte throughout all the voicing. It got pretty powerful toward the end there, and I love how they ended. They ended on the 7, leaving it open-ended, open to interpretation, almost like a to be continued. And I thought that was very intelligent for the style of song that it is. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. So it's intelligent ending, solid songwriting across the board. Everything sounded good. Everything made sense. I'm not going to sit here and say anything really impressed me all that much other than the ending. The ending actually really impressed me quite a bit. I thought it was a brilliant move. But the rest of the song, it was good. It was solid across the board. I got no issue with it. I got no problem with it. Looking at it objectively, it's just not my personal taste of music. This is the kind of song, and I just found it ironic that the name of the group is called Sleeping at Last. I could see this song being utilized for insomniacs. This will put you to sleep. You'll be sleeping at last. Yeah, I could totally see that. But no, it's despite my personal feelings, like I said, I may not be a fan, but at the same time, they did nothing wrong. Okay, they did absolutely nothing wrong. It was solid across the board. And that ending in particular, I gotta say, that was really smart. So 6.7, yeah, I feel good about that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 6.7, which is a pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.